Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Testing 1, 1. This is a ArmA 2 XMod, the XMap version 2. This is a test on this map. Looking for some of the bugs and other issues like that. I wasn't doing anything right then. You should hear the sound now, too. Yeah, all of the roads will be 2-lane, and in some areas they'll have a turning lane in the center as well. And in some of them, some areas I have room for 4-lane roads and things like that. Yeah, I don't know if I like this texture. Later on, I'm not worried about it right now. It's because it's the parallax map that needs to be changed. Oh, you talking about where it's like it looks like a saw that's been cut through it? No. How it's like this, zigzagging? Yeah, you can't fix that. Only with the model. And I'm getting away from a lot of the models. That's why I'm running around with a 150 FPS, 130 to 150 FPS. And it's not that bad. You see what I'm saying? And once I put the decal in, you know what I'm saying? You'll have the white line right here. This will be the shoulder. So the shoulder don't really matter that much anyway. I may end up changing that texture for the swamp. I've got to bring the edge of the swamp in as well, but mainly that texture is going to be for what's under the water. Why some of these textures are messing up here. All this will be regular with the snow now. You can check these snows. Got a lot of speckles that need to be cleaned up. That's what happens when you get happy with Photoshop. Hello, Mark 80. How you doing tonight? Mark 80, how you doing tonight? Gotta add my snow sounds when you're running around on the snow here. It's not too bad. And then I'm gonna put some rocks. This will be just the grass and a stone, and I'll add my own rocks. I gotta clean up all these little squares here, make them look more like the snow's coming down to the road. I'm gonna, in that other area, that's what I was doing. The town that's gonna be on the other side of this, below the snow, that's the one that I'm gonna do, like where the snow melts and half the town is gonna be submerged underwater like it's been flooded. Good deal. Yeah, I remember speaking. I hope you got everything that you needed. And like I said, if you ever have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Happy to help anytime. Yeah, this is where my submerged town is going right here. Cover this more with snow Yeah, it's a really fun game. I love it. I actually have a much older one. I have a i7 3820 if I remember right. I believe it's the 2011 socket, and I overclocked it to 5 gig is what I run at, and graphics card I run a MSI 1080. Yeah, it's MXI 1080 GTX. Motherboard is ASRock. Power supply is Cougar CMX 2001, I believe. Way more than what a normal person would need. I had 1,000 watt and same brand. 4 years after I had it, it messed up with me, and I called them up and told them that it was still under the warranty for 5 years. He said, "I'm sorry, we don't have that one anymore. We'll send you a full refund, or we'll upgrade you to a 2000. I was like, hell yeah, send me the 2000. Really good company on warranty stuff. Yeah, it's way overkill. Way overkill. I think I had the 1050 is what I originally had. And you should feel this thing. It feels like a damn cinder block. I can't believe the weight of it. But I had a 1050 watt. And he said, yeah, we don't carry that model anymore. He says, I'll upgrade you being you had trouble with it. It's like, yeah. Which I do have a lot of mechanical drives that I run, so it does help to have that extra for my mechanical drive. I do a lot of storage and things like that, and different stuff like that. I think this brown texture needs to be a little darker. I'm not liking this tan. Oh, the hard drives as well I run. I run the Samsung 860 EVO. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I also got one of the M.2 SSD drives. And I'm going to tell you, if you, unless the price is really cheap, I would not spend the extra money for the M.2 unless you're doing things like video editing and things like that, because with that, between it and a regular, like an 860 EVO, the SATA connection, you just do not see the speed difference on basic stuff. Like it's so, the difference, especially in gaming, the difference is so small, it's not worth the price. I was using, I have a separate computer that I have one in for my ArmA server, and the one in my ArmA server is an NVMe, and it's a, that's the one I run on my ArmA server. But before I put it in my ArmA server, I tested it in my computer, because I have on my gaming computer, I just have a 860 EVO SATA connection, and I was like, I want to see what the real difference is comparing the two. And when I compared the two, like certain things, video editing and things like that, it just blew the doors off of it. But with like normal games and things like that, which I play a lot of ArmA and stuff like that, I could not see any difference in performance. It was, I'm talking like nanoseconds performance difference between the regular SSD and the M.2 NVMe. I'm sure there's some games out there that could capitalize on having it, but none that I play. So that's why I say make sure you check your games if you're considering get one, and I would check the price, because if it's way more expensive, I would just go. And they have the Samsung Pro that gives you like a longer, it used to give you a longer warranty, and if you look now, it doesn't give you that extra warranty. I wouldn't spend the extra money for that one either. Save you money and throw it in something else. Better graphics card, better motherboard, or something like that. Yep. I tell you what, you could probably go on YouTube and search some videos, because I'm sure I'm not the first one that run into it. But I would search at performance compare between like a regular SSD and the M.2, and I'll bet some people will probably put some videos up there comparing them with video games, because I was expecting a major difference, and it is not. Not for the games I play. But if you do like video editing or things like that, where you're going to be saving, you know, really large files and things like that, it definitely, I mean, it's a beast when it comes to stuff like that. But you know how many people are actually doing stuff like that? Yeah, this is feeling really smooth. I'm just doing some testing on the map here with these new roads and seeing how they all work and everything. Yeah. I don't mind having a look at it. I'm going to be on here doing a test for a little bit anyway, so if you just want to post them in chat piece by piece, and we'll go through each piece. whatever's easier for you. If you want to post a link with the list there, or if you want to post them right in chat, one item at a time, whatever is more convenient for you. The Western Digital Blue, stay away from that. Oh no, it's no problem at all. Western Digital Blue, I used to do PC repair, and I still have like several accounts that I maintain and everything. Western Digital Blue, I cannot tell you how many of those drives I have replaced from failure. Do not buy any Western Digital Blue. Their SSDs are terrible, and their mechanical drives are terrible as well on Blue. Western Digital, if you're looking for storage, actually I've had several black ones fail as well. Black gives you good performance, but I've had quite a few black fail. Western Digital Red for storage, and if you're looking for speed on like an SSD, I would go with the Samsung 860 EVO for the price. But I had, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. I've had, I run 10 on this system here. I have 10 4 terabyte hard drives, and I do a lot of storage with them, and I trade them out as they start to mess up with me and things like that. And there was a company, I can't remember the name of it, but they do server hard drives, and they done a thing to see which was the best hard drives that would last for the longest time. And they actually have a list. You can actually Google it for the hard drives that have the best lifespan above 2 gigabyte hard drives. And believe it or not, there was actually a couple of name brands there that most people never even heard of that was at the top of the list. But Western Digital Red, I have replaced all of my blacks out. Blacks are really good for performance, but I've had over half of my blacks fail before the, like right at the warranty or just within a few months right after the warranty exceeded, and they failed. Yeah, Seagate makes some really good ones too. But right now, I stay with Western Digital Red. I prefer the red just because the performance on them. I've had some red ones that now for a good, probably a good 6 years, maybe something like that. So I really prefer the reds now for long-term storage. I build computers, so like if someone wants a computer with performance and they want storage like together, I will go Western Digital Black for stuff like that. But personally, the price of the Western Digital Black, I don't think they're worth it. Because when you start getting into that kind of price range, the SSDs now can kind of give you the, you know, you start getting, the SSD prices has just dropped so much, like on the 860 EVO. And if you're looking for storage, like you can get a 1 terabyte SSD 860 EVO for around 130 to 150 bucks. And if you're looking above 2 terabytes, you're looking at mass storage anyway. So I suggest you go to Western Digital Red. But don't take my word on it. Research it a little bit on Google, and you'll see what I'm talking about, like the responses and how well they last and things like that. A lot of big like Google servers and some other big servers and stuff like that, they do this report on hard drive failures, and that's what I'm pulling my information from, is how often when they change those hard drives out, which ones they're changing out the most. Yeah, you're not really going to be running them. You have a couple of different ways you can run them, but you can get them, like that's what I run in my personal computer as well, but I don't use it as my primary drive. I just use it for storage. And I have, the reason I say 10 is I'm running 5 hard drives, and I'm running the other 5 and mirrored against them. But with the Western Digital Blacks, I was replacing the Western Digital Blacks. Some of them I done through warranty. I was replacing them about every 3 to 4 years. I was replacing the blacks. And I had a few of them that went out right at the 5-year mark, which was the max warranty I had on the ones that I had. And every one of those that failed were 4 terabyte Western Digital Black. Yeah, I love ArmA 3. ArmA 3 is really nice. I like how detailed they went into, like on some of the planes and things like that. I've seen some mods where you actually toggle the switches on the boards and things like that to start it up there. ArmA 3 is amazing. It's a really good game. I play on both. I play ArmA 2 and ArmA 3. Yeah, this is a map I'm working on now. That's what I'm doing now, some testing. This is a work in progress right now. The trees and things like that will come later when I do some of the others. I'm redoing. Actually, here, let me turn it this way. I'll show you what the. If you're familiar with Chernarus, this was kind of the way Chernarus was, and I love the Chernarus map, but I wanted a newer version, so I've added all this extra up here. Make sure I don't crash here while I'm talking. But I've added all this extra up here in these areas, so we're kind of keeping Chernarus, but giving a bunch of new playing area, and I turned it into an island. I've put like a river through the top part of it, and things like, it's got multiple islands and things like that. So it's not Chernarus, but it has a lot that you'll see here, like this is the old Cherno where Cherno was, and I'm slowly working on like even the models for the buildings and things like that. Oh, I know what you're talking. Damn, what is the name of that? I know exactly what you're talking. Yeah, in the northern areas where I've built my big river, I'm going to be putting some pretty big bridges across some of them. I'll head up there in a second to show you. I'm working on these now. These are going to be my skyscrapers, and they will actually. I'll show you how the insides of them are. You can see how they're opened up. When I get finished with them. Every time they spawn in, these rooms get randomly generated as far as like the layout and everything, and the height of them will be randomly generated as well. Each floor, you can kind of see where this little gray marker is. Each one of those floors is somewhat like pancakes, and all of it works like as far as like the sections. You can climb the ladders and things like that. You can climb all the way to the top. It's a work in progress. You can step through the windows. the elevators will work. I'm still working on the elevators right now, but the elevators and all that stuff will work and things like that, but it'll randomly generate them. These are going to be my towers, and then I'll show you the... I think I got one around here. Yeah, so these are my warehouses. Well, I'm going to go over here to this one. I'll show you these warehouses too. They're kind of neat. These warehouses kind of pretty much do the same thing as. Yeah, cause it's I've not got the elevator sounds in there or anything yet. You're 100% right. It's got to sound like an elevator when I get it done. So, like these warehouses, I've got these two sitting too close together, but the way they've got like random shit in them, I just done this one as a joke. But this warehouse, you don't know what's going to be in it. When these warehouses spawn, I figured you'd get a laugh at the Minecraft trees. Do not use for base building in Minecraft or DayZ. But these warehouses, they do the same thing that these towers do. I've already got the warehouses working, and that's what I'll show you. But whenever the warehouses spawn on the server, they randomly spawn. The colors will randomly spawn. That way we can use, like, you know, you check the orange one, I'll check the purple one, things like that. But then also, even though it's orange, it will randomly generate the stuff inside as well. And I'll show you. We'll just go to two different ones here. So you have these like boxes that are laid out in them, and you can just see this is like a CQC nightmare. Oh yeah, that would be a good idea to... This one's just, it's laid out completely different. And all of these boxes and these buildings, the way it randomizes all the stuff in them. When you clear them, it's got a little area where you can mark them as cleared and things. Yeah, that was one of the things I was able to break through in ArmA 2. That these floors, if you've ever seen, because we play on a PvE server, and this is pretty much when you go into a building, like if the AI was to come into this building, the AI will walk, and they will go on like a straight line. Part of when you make the models, you make a path for that AI to walk on, and he'll walk that line, and then he'll go right back to the door, and then the AI will take off running. These buildings, and the reason I have them customized, it's what I just dubbed the name. I call them active floors. But if you've ever seen AI navigate the trees in ArmA, my floors work the way the woods work. When the AI come in here, they recognize all of the objects, and they will navigate them like trees. And they don't have a set path. When they come into these buildings, they can run around, they can run at top speed, they can stand anywhere they want. There is no positions in here for them. Like when they come walking in, they don't just walk a straight path. They will just straight rush you. They'll drive vehicles up in here and everything else. And that's what makes it so fun. They have these, what I call active floors. I wanted there's just so many hackers out there. I used to play a lot of PvP, and you know what it's like if you play a lot of PvP. The hackers is just, it's unreal, especially in ArmA, because it's so easy to hack ArmA. And we were getting a lot of people who would quit and get frustrated and didn't want to play. And I still wanted that PvP part of it, but without the hackers. So what I did was I created AI, and it took me 4 years just to develop their aiming to make them aim like a real person, because I wanted my AI to be like real people. And anybody can, just turn their settings up and make them do like 180, snap to target shots. And I didn't want that because that's not hard AI, that's just computer hard. So what I did is I made my AI hard, but it's not with auto aim. They have tactics. They can call in airstrikes. They can call in, like, they make all of their choices. They're completely independent, and they think like they kind of have like a flow chart, and they've got multiple decisions they can make. Yeah, it's. I've got a ton of videos on YouTube and things showing some of the stuff I've done with the AI and things like that. The AI and ArmA are really, really dumb if you go with like the base stuff. But once you start increasing their intelligence and by creating scripts and things like that, you can make some really, really nice AI. To give you an example, my AI have dirty tactics. When we're running around in a group, they can tell who's doing the medical procedures. They will target our medics. They will wound soldiers if you're trying to run. Like, let's say we was trying to get across this town really fast. They will tell like how fast we're moving, and they will wound and like break the legs of some of your teammates to slow you down so that you'll start doing medical stuff while they call in reinforcements in the other area. They have advanced flanking ideas and things like that. And basically what I did to get them to do all that is I sat down and I said, if I was in this situation, what would I do? And I would give them like 5 of the best decisions that I would do as far as like based on real military, what a real military soldier would do. Then I said, what would I do? And give them another 5 if you're just a complete idiot, you know what I'm saying, run and gun, who gives a shit. And then that way they get to randomly choose, so you don't know what they're going to do. It makes it so much fun. Even me, the developer, I love to play the game. And if me being a player, most developers knows exactly what their AI is going to do. They know the limitations and they know what they can do. I didn't like that. I love things really hard. I don't like the easy button or anything like that. So I made their decision making, I made their tactics, and I made all of it completely random, so random that I don't even know what they're doing. When we go into the mission, I have the same knowledge of another person who doesn't even code. We're pretty much on the same level because the AI gets to make all of their own decisions. So it's what makes it really fun in that sense. Hello, Alex. Hang on one second. I'll get you a quick vid to show you just some of the things they be doing.
Hey there,
I'll show you.
welcome to another V Scorpion C.
1 second. This will be just like a quick, just to show you like some of their, and then you can just check it out later.
Oh, you must be streaming right now.
Yeah, I am. That's an older video, but what you can see on that in that video, you can tell it's an AI, but some of the things people miss, and you don't have to watch the whole video, just the first few minutes of it, or you'll see what's actually going on there. That's pretty impressive about ArmA AI. The guy knows that the windows exist. You can actually see him looking in the building, checking inside to make sure nobody's inside the window. And you can actually see him walking back and forth patrolling. there's somebody in one of those buildings down the street, and he keeps going up to the edge trying to wait on that person to run out. But that is a guy who is just like, that's just some of the things that you can just see what I'm saying were, and you'll see him leaning on the corner and using the objects and things like that for cover. But and that's a really old one. They're way, way better than that now. Some of the things like where he just keeps patrolling and constantly moving so he won't take a headshot. But that just gives you a rough idea of some of the stuff they can do now.
Yeah, they're a lot more evil now. They'll play dead. They'll actually lay on the ground in the middle of the dead bodies around them to play dead, to play possum, hoping you come right by.
Yeah, it took years. Like, I've been working on this for years with it. And I just basically do it for a, I have a little small private group, and like when people jump on here and they're like, oh, I want to play it, I invite them to the private group. It don't cost you no money. All you got to do is have ArmA 2 complete collection, and if you've got that, you can jump right in our little group and play. We play every Friday and Saturday night, and I know the group will build over time. I've had a bunch of people come through, but where it's just a work in progress and getting it together, but it's slowly starting to come together now. Yeah, it's good, and I recommend getting ArmA 2 and ArmA 3. I think they're both really good games, and they both, when people say, why don't you just go straight to ArmA 3, I'm going to tell you, it's like Mario Brothers and Mario Yoshi. They both carry the name title, but both of them have a complete different feel to the play and things like that, and both of them are really, really good games. I suggest getting them both. ArmA 3 though, if before you buy ArmA 3, you need to make sure you have a really decent rig, because ArmA 3 can be pretty heavy on performance on some of its things. I know some people can turn a lot of shit down on it and get by with it, but I would want a beefier computer if you're going to run ArmA 3, just from my experience. Oh yeah, definitely it will. Yeah, I'd be happy to show you how to get it, install it all, and things like that, and set it up. And after you get it, if you want to come play this is called the XMod, but you can come over here and run with us as well if you like. We play ArmA 2. We have a few people who play ArmA 3 and ArmA 2 as well, different ones. I'm mostly just focused ArmA 2. And the reason I haven't jumped or pushed this mod to ArmA 3, I started on this a while back when they was doing this mod. I actually started on same time DayZ, just to give you an idea how long I've been messing with it, when DayZ came out. But they were doing a lot of patches and updates, and when they do that stuff, it takes, as a developer, especially if you're fixing core stuff and things like that, it's really hard to work around some of those patches and things like that, because it's kind of a hit or miss with some of their stuff. So ArmA 3 is just having way too many patches and updates and changes and things like that for me to venture into it now. I'll touch on that later when it's way, way more stable and the patches ain't coming like they do. And I'm not a real big fan of all the extra DLCs they constantly keep throwing. I know they need the money on it, but I kind of like the ArmA 2 where the community made a lot of the DLC stuff. It is if you're going to play a lot of ArmA 3. I mean, all of the DLCs, if you really get into ArmA 3. Yeah, Navy, I just changed. I used to run on the beta all the time, and I just made my change over to ArmA 2 to their newest update they did on ArmA 2 as well. Hopefully this is going to be the end of its life update. I'm ready for them to do the final one on ArmA 2. I tell you, if they done it right on ArmA 2, they should do a. They should go back and combine everything, like all the expansions and everything, and put it into one single download. Because I can't tell you how many people I have to help with downloading all the expansions and everything, and then trying to make them work. And I wish they would just combine all that of ArmA 2 and just throw a bigger price tag on it. I mean, a lot of textures messed up. Oh, thank you much. I actually use a headset. I have a Logitech G35 headset, and it's a really old headset they come out with years ago. I bought mine brand new, loved it, and I bought a second one for it. Well, then when it kind of went off the market, it was damn near impossible to get anything close to it as far as the quality, as far as what I liked on it. And I learned a lot about it. I got a friend of mine who does, he can print the little pieces up on the ends because they'll break on you. It had a manufacturing defect, and he uses a 3D printer and reprints the plastic for me. And then I also have the ear pads and everything like that. I order custom ones to make them better and things like that. The cord on it wore out, and because I told you I mess in computers and stuff like that, I actually took my cord off of my G35 and I made a custom USB plug on the bottom of the headset, and then whenever the cord wears out, it's just a USB extension. I throw it in the trash and buy me another one, so my headset will last me for a long time. It's made to last. That's what I'm bad for, customizing stuff. I'll get something I like, and then I'll modify it all to hell to make it, you know, how I really, really want. Computer cases and everything else. I'm one of those people who does those weird-ass mods to their computer cases and things like that. Like I bought the, yeah. I bought the G502 Logitech mouse. Love the mouse, but my pinky drags on the mouse pad a lot, and I didn't like that. I went and bought some latex. It was these latex textured gloves for mechanics, and I cut the latex pattern into like a kind of like a shark fin, and I went and bought some silicone and filled it up, and then like squeezed the edges of it and everything, and then I made the indentions for my fingers on the side of the mouse and just let it set up and dry, and it made the mouse where it's got like this real soft cushion to the whole side of it, and I'll have to take pictures of it later and show you. It just made the mouse a million times better in my opinion for myself. It's like perfectly made now, fits my hand. How you been doing, Navy? Hadn't seen you in a while. Oh, that's another part I forgot to tell you about. I modified even things like the inventory and stuff like that with the way it flows through and things like that. I've modified it all from ArmA 2 and changed all that up. Trying to check out something. I'm not really happy with this texture. I know I gotta work on the bump map and the normal maps of it, but think that brown, I want that brown a little dark. Oh, that's right. I remember talking with you now. He just refreshed my... It was a brain fart. That's what I'm blaming on. Amen, amen. I got my new road textures done. These are going to be my road textures. What I'm going to do on the roads is these are actually textures that are put on the map level. And then I'm going to do decals that lay over top of them. And the decals will be like the yellow, white lines and things like that, the crosswalks. I'll also do like decals for like potholes and things like that. And that way it's like, because I don't have a full-on model, it'll improve the performance on it quite. Same thing like with my railroad tracks here, which the bump map I got is just a little too much. You can see it right there. I got to work on the bump map. I've got it pushed it up a little too much. I think I want this dirt darker. What you think? What y'all think on the dirt? Y'all like that that color of the dirt, or you think I should go a little darker to be more like a? I was thinking about doing it like more of like a real dark mud color. A lot of that dirt area as well, some of that is going to be covered with trees. Yes. I don't know if I'd call it passion or OCD. I know, right? Run from all these vipers. The roads are going to go pretty good with the. If I can get off the sidewalks here, they'll go pretty good with the sidewalks and everything when I get them done. And then this is going to be the railroad track running through. ArmA done a lot of textures on some of their other stuff. They done textures for the rocks. I'm going to hold off on that, and I'm actually going to create the rocks to be more real like those. I'm going to create rock textures. Yeah, they've been pushing me for that. They really want it, so I think I am going to take a look at it. It shouldn't be too hard, because you basically could create it whenever I redo the train tracks. I could create it with the way the AI walks around inside of a house on that specific like chalk line. You could do the same thing and give them like a chalk line, and you just have the object move along that chalk line, which would be the train. So it would give you the illusion that it's actually on the train tracks, but it would really just be following that line. Oh, that's one of the things that we were talking about, which was one of the reasons that made me actually want to do it. I'd like to have some of the trains where, like, I would like to have Viper trains that are patrolling, and it would be like the armored trains with like static guns on them and things like that, mounted on the back of them and stuff like that as the trains patrolling around the map. That would be a pretty cool mission. Have to stop the train or something like that. That's a tricky one for me to think about. This is my scratch board up here. This is where I'm slowly working on textures up here. I finally started getting the snow in on the areas up here. Right. No, we need two trains. We need a XMod train and a Viper train. That way we can ram them into each other. I'm trying to think of the best mod part I've done. What would you say the best part of the mod I've done, Violation? You had to nail it down. I'm really thinking it. I know on the nasty side of it, it would be the AI, the Viper AI, how well they work. On the good side of it, trying to think what I've done that people really, really enjoy. Yeah, my snow textures they're not too bad. It's got to make it sound like snow when I'm running around on it. That'll give it the illusion. Yeah, active floors are that's a big plus. I don't know what my guys would consider is the best thing that I've done as far as something really good. They really, really love.
Well, I know one thing you're really good at. You're really good at making everything more sadistic and harder. Nerfing everything. Oh, I like this. Oh,
I,
shit.
I'll
Okay.
tell you what I think is the best thing. The best thing that I've added, in my opinion, um, the random buildings with random insides. To me, because you can play Arma over and over and over, and the one thing you get bored with, it's like, okay, I know this building, I know the layout of it, and you could do 100 missions, and every mission's going to be different. But then definitely when the building starts changing, it really feels like you can do the same city 2 weekends back to back, and it feels completely damn different because the city layout's different. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things, because you're on the same map, but it's just constantly changing every weekend, so it feels like you're on a new map every weekend. That's probably,
Actually, the one I was looking forward to is your stackable buildings.
yeah,
I'm waiting for those when you get to the point that they actually vary in height.
yep.
Because when that happens, and I can start getting that 9-story tall building, like Sniper's Heaven just came into reality.
Yeah, when I have them to randomly, which I've already got it, like, the only reason I don't have them doing it, I mean, I've got everything there. I've just got it disabled at the moment because I was trying to get the elevators working.
Yeah, I know you're trying to get the elevator situation fixed first.
He's talking about these big towers right here. These towers, when they spawn in, they'll be random in height. Those buildings, the random insides, and the warehouses. I love the warehouses. Is one of the funnest buildings I've played. I just love, which I'm a big person who likes the CQC clear. I love the clearing part of it. I got a lot of map. Oh, I need to check that reputation. I know what I need to check now. Got a lot of snow I got to fix on them other parts, but I can't figure out what I'm going to do for my... Yeah, right now I'm just testing on this one. I've redone some of these textures, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to change out and what these look like all that snow up in the top part where the textures are messed up. That's what I'm working on right now, getting some of that stuff straightened out. I'll show you here in a second when I land this plane up here. I'll show you what it looks like. I work a little bit like you can see some of these roads here, how especially on the other side of this mountain, it's like the road is on its side, it's not flat and things like that. I do some of that because there's a lot to be done on that. I'll do some of that through the week, and then I'll do stuff like where I'm getting my textures tweaked out and things like that, just because it takes so long to get the road straightened out the way you want and things like that. So just so I don't get burnt out on one particular thing, I jump around, do different parts. This I think is going to be a fun area when I get it done. I still got. I need to pick that up. That should be sunk in the ground right there. I've done this texture. I don't really like it. You know what I'm saying, from a distance. But I was kind of doing this texture to be under. I like it in the water. I think it looks good in the water. Just don't like it when it comes up to the shore area. Like, I don't really know if I like it or not. Basically making this is going to be like a little swamp area, and it'll be surrounded with trees, and then I'll have some trees in this water, and then I'm going to have like kind of put you in mind of like the little huts you see where like half the house is like on poles stuck up out of the water. And I made this whole area here. There's some. I measured this off to make sure that you can drive the car, but the car it'll go, and there's actually holes out here that you can run into, and your car will sink and it'll mess it up. But for the most part, I made it the right height where you can drive around in it. And this will be pretty neat when there's like a whole bunch of trees and little buildings and stuff like that out here. Some of the holes, if you hit them with enough speed, you'll get through them. But if you let off the gas, it'll mess your car up. Your car will die out. I've done that on purpose. I really don't know if I like that texture or not, though. I'll bring the grass closer to it so it's only like up to the edge here, but this will be just the texture that's under the water. I think it needs to be like more. Because I'm going to do it more like a swamp, and I was thinking like more marsh, but I could try sand to see what it's like with sand as well. Like, it don't look like it's that big until you pull out your rangefinder and start looking around. It's like, holy shit. Here we go. I'll put a map marker there. Let me see the distance. $19,935 from here. That's not even like I've still got this much area just from that corner to there. Like, it's just, it don't look like it's that big until you actually start trying to travel across it and shit. Yeah, that's what I was going to do in this area right here as well. Along with the trees, I was going to put a lot of that, I forget what, it's like you see in the little swamp areas and everything where you're like moving through the water and the grass. That's what I was going to do that whole area like. A lot of these little towns here are temporary towns just until I get time to terraform the terrain and then build the new town too. The dirt mixed around with this grass here. One of the things that's pretty cool as well is I'm running without a satellite map right now. I have a satellite map, but I've got it basically disabled. And if you've ever played ArmA, this is one of the things what I love about it is the roads disappear. When you start climbing, you lose the roads, you lose a lot of the structures, the buildings and things like that. And I've made mine where whenever you're way up in the air, you can still see a lot of that stuff. That's one of the parts I really like about it. It's getting there. Starting to. Oh my god. I got so many textures I gotta fix up here. Take care, Navy. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I love them. They're so much fun.
I'll be back in a minute, Trav.
All right, take care, Molly. It's a little insane whenever you get into the modding part of ARM and things like that's one of the things that that's why I recommend ArmA 2 and ArmA 3 both. But like when you first get into it and you go and play and you have fun, but then it's like you're gonna be like, man, I wish I could do this or I wish I could do that. If you take the time to start learning it, you can make your own custom missions and make stuff like any way you want, which is it's you just can't get video games like that. You'll hear a lot of people talk shit about ArmA, about how bad it is, how buggy it is, and it's a terrible game. Like I've heard so many people trash it on so many levels, but one thing you can say is that its ability to be able to do the mission editor and create missions without you not really knowing a whole lot about game design and things like that, you see where they just put all their stuff into it. It's pretty amazing. It does have its bugs and its quirks, but I mean, when you look at the scale of it, it's pretty amazing they were able to accomplish what they have so far. At least I got the dirt showing up. Yeah, exactly. Like one of the things I've done for my guys, I'll show you this. So this is default ArmA, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. As I look around, you'll see the sky getting brighter. I look down, you'll see it getting really bright here. And that gives you more the realism part of it. But a lot of people can't, like as they play ArmA for a few hours, that constant light going up and down really starts to bother them, so they can't play ArmA for a long time. That was one of the things I added, I call it eye protection. And you can go in and set it. So like if you like your game to be a lot brighter, and you know, you can't, if you were to do this in PvP, you could get a strategic edge, whereas on this one, it won't really matter. But if you like it brighter, if you like your games darker, like that's the thing on this, you can put it down. You can see, like I can make it look really good as far as depending on what your preference is. See, like the little rings right here when you look at the sun, I created those rings. ArmA, actually, if you look at ArmA, the default ArmA, they do these little dots. I created the sun rings and things like that. You can see the lighting of it. One of the things that that people do in ArmA when you play regular ArmA, I'll show you. This is one of the, I call it a feature, but actually let me do it over here on this building. This is one of the things that people were using in ArmA to make the game easier when it should not be easier. And I'll show you this look and how I fixed it. What I call my fix. Let these doors close. But it's just small little things like this that makes the game so much better. When you're in third person, I'll show you this. I'm turning it off now. I'm letting these doors. You have servers that are hardcore and servers that are regular, where they allow first person and third person. And one of the things you lose in ArmA is if you do a server with third person, you can really exploit the hell out of it if you don't have some things in play. This little man over on the right, on the top of those little bars there, he's white, where he's like all white. I've got part of it turned off and I'll show you. But if you allow people to play with third person, let's say there could be AI in this building, I can walk up to it, and when I start turning, I can actually look inside of the building. You can even see the front part of the jet there. If I move back a little bit and start turning, you can see. See, I can look in this building. I can pretty much clear this whole building without ever going into it. And you get that a lot because it throws the camera behind it in third person. Well, let me turn that off. And I'll show you. So you can see now that little guy, his head turned red. Well, what I did was I put a cooldown on it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is just when I've got it enabled. I've got it enabled now. So I can switch to third person. And when I come running up to this building, as soon as I try to lean, I'll go into third person. As soon as I try to lean and look through the building, see how it instantly put me into first person? And I can't lean and look through the building. And the little guy's head turned red. That's one of the things I've got on my server, which makes it more fun, is that when you start trying to exploit and like look through walls and stuff like that, you have that little thing that pops up and puts you into combat mode, and you can't do that. So it makes the game a lot more fun. Like right now, if I try to, that's where you see the cameras just flashing. That's me trying to switch back to third person. It won't let me switch back to third person right now. But now that the cooldown has run, now it'll let me go back to third person. It makes the game a lot more fun. That way you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the hardcore part of it, but then you get the third person part of it, which it's enjoyable for everybody. Little things like that go a long way in a game like this. And that's what I was saying. The reason I jumped on that topic and started telling you is you play a game. If I was playing any other, say, Battlefield Hero or Battlefield or Call of Duty or something like that, and it's like, man, people are using third person to look through walls, that sucks. There's nothing I can do about it. Whereas in ArmA, it's like, you know what? I don't like that. It feels like an exploit or a cheat to me. I'll just go ahead and code it up and fix it the way I want. And that's what separates ArmA from everything else. You can fix anything you don't like. And then I'll show you real quick. Dyslexia is another guy who makes videos and things like that for ArmA, and he had a really good point when he was talking about he forces first person on his servers all the time. and he's got some really good points for it. I wanted that, which was one of his points, is whenever you spawn a vehicle or... Oh, man. Yeah, it does. It makes a... So, like, I'll show you. This is another good example. Is on this vehicle, Dyslexy made the point that when you're in third person, so like when I jump in this vehicle, I'm in third person, I can see all around me. I can see guys shooting at me and everything like that, and you can see the little guy's head over there is white. I can see all that that's going on. But the excitement of being in a vehicle and then getting hit and not knowing where it comes from and then having to jump out and respond to that contact, that's a really big part of ArmA that makes it enjoyable. Whereas like this, I could just look around and see what's going on. So one of the things is I wanted to balance both parts of that. So if you're in a vehicle on my server, if you're the driver, you have the ability to look around. But if I go and jump into the back of the vehicle, it instantly puts me into first person. And if I try to go to third person, you can see how it keeps me from being able to do that. So now I've got the best of both worlds. The driver can still see to drive and everything. And the driver may tell me, you know, a guy is shooting, but I'm not going to be able to see that. I'm going to have to jump out of this truck and I'm going to have to respond to it in first person, knowing what, you know, not knowing where it's coming from or what's going on. And it's small things like that that just make the game so much more fun. It's amazing how little things like that though can just, and that's what I'm saying, like when you buy the ArmA series, you'll read so many forums that say you can't do this, you can't do that, the AI won't do this and won't do that. I'm telling you, take it with a grain of salt, think outside the box, because it's crazy at the things that you can do with it. You just take time to learn. Yeah, it makes it fun, I know. My active floors, when I first came up with my AI active floors, I can't tell you how many people told me that wouldn't work. You can't do that. The AI won't work. I've been told no on so many things in the forums and stuff like that, on some of it, that on a lot of it, I won't even ask if it's possible anymore. I'll just do it to see for myself if it'll work or not. That was years ago when, like now, I'm more of like giving the advice and things like that on it. But I'm telling you, you'll run into people on the forums when you start trying to get help. Some of them are really, really good people, but there is some sour apples out there that if they can't do it, they feel like it can't be done. If you run into something like that, don't let them bring you down. I'm telling you, you just keep your mind open. You can create all kinds of shit. Oh, I know what I needed to check. I got one more thing to check, and then I'll be done with this test. I need to see how these textures do in dark. Been trying to work on the headlights and everything to make the glares a little bit. Yeah, ArmA has such a great replayability on it. It's just amazing at some of its stuff. I get all the other lights done in the towns and things like that, that'll be pretty nice. You talking about the XMod? XMod, Ex-Military Operations Division. That's what it stands for. The lure, cause it's kind of like the way I tell everybody, I explain to them. Oh, okay. My username for it. Let me stop here. When I would play games, people would always have my username in like every single game that I played, and my lucky number is 13. Most of everybody else's lucky number, and what they consider a lucky number, is 7. And the little brackets on each side is 13 mirrored backwards is number 7. And that's what the little brackets is on each side. And then the Joker in between it, everybody's like, oh, you love Batman Joker. You love the Joker from Batman. And it's like, no, 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 no. I had that nickname long before. I mean, I know Joker's always been around before Joker was popular. When I was in school, middle school and things like that, I cut up a lot. I was like constantly pulling jokes and things like that. More of a practical joker, and all my teachers and all my friends nicknamed me Joker, and it just stuck. And what I mean by that is, like, I was constantly, like, I would take the pictures. One of my teachers, she had all these pictures sitting on her desk of her family. I would take her pictures out, put them around backwards, and put them back in the picture frames. Stupid things like that, you know, just for shit and giggles. But that's where I picked up the nickname. And then
typical juvenile delinquent.
Yeah. And then the funny part of it is, through school I had the nickname Joker, and my friends called me Joker. But then years later down the road, I picked up the same exact nickname again from some other colleagues, because a lot of people don't know it, and I don't really talk a whole lot about it on Twitch and everything. I'm a professional poker player. Not a professional poker player that you see on TV who plays, you know, in all those movie or TV shows and things like that. When I say professional poker player, I'm talking about I actually make a living playing cards. You know, I don't make millions of dollars. I make enough to live on. And I play poker for a living, and a lot of my friends called me Joker from that. And the nickname they gave me there was Joker, was because they said when I'm sitting at the poker table, they said that motherfucker's like a joker. He's like a wild card. I don't know if he's got pocket aces or 7-2. I just know when he's playing in a hand, watch out. And they just like gave me the nickname, picking on me all the time, and it just stuck with me through that as well. So now you know the history to it. Woo, that was bright. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. Funny thing is the professional poker player, everybody's like, how, what books did you read to get really good at playing poker and everything? And it's so funny. When I was a kid growing up, my mom run a poker game, and she would play as well. And we had a poker game every Friday and Saturday night. And I would sit in her lap and play her cards. I'm talking about little tiny kid, and learned the hands, learned everything from that age. And I didn't learn from any of the pros or anything like that. I actually learned sitting there playing poker with my mom, watching my mom's hands and watching other people. It's just crazy at the things kids pick up. And I never planned on being a professional poker player when I got older. but a company I worked with, I worked in computers and everything like that, and that company moved to another country, and I had a chance to move with it, but I chose to stay. And when I did, it was like, what am I going to do for, a job? I wasn't really sure. And I started playing poker on the sides. And then within a couple of years of playing, I actually started making more money playing poker than I was making at my full-time job. So then it just kind of took off from there. But just to give you an idea, as far as like on the poker thing, when you have pros, like you have pros that say, that they'll be playing for like thousands of dollars and like hundreds of thousands of dollars, things like that. My limits I make a living on, and I play 510. I don't go above 510 limit.
That was me. I got to give you hell.
Yeah. It reminds me of that song. What was that song? Oh my goodness.
Puff the Magic Dragon?
No, oh my god. Where the guy's singing these. I cannot remember. I think it might be Ted Nugent that sings it or something. Where he says, I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I don't know who sings it, but I know what song you're talking about.
Now, I will say, I'll drink the hell out of some whiskey, but I don't do any drugs. And it's not because I think, illegal. To each his own. If you do them and you enjoy them, more power to you. Me personally, I will drink some whiskey and I'll drink some moonshine, but I don't do any pills or smoke anything.
You must have your AI turned on the way you're being cautious.
No, they're not. It's just habit.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
No, I see you updated the map a little bit.
Yeah, while you're on the stream, hold on one second. Let me show you this dirt. It won't take but a second. I was getting ready to log out, but I seen that you were on the stream, so I want you to have a look at this dirt. I'll get your
about what you did with the asphalt. I like the asphalt look.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that part of it. Have a look at that dirt. I'll zoom in on it there where you can see a little bit. Do you think I should go a little darker with that? We were talking about it before, and I've got some other opinions on it. I just want to see what your opinion is as well.
No, I think that looks fine.
Let's see, I think this will... You can kind of see it there as well. We were thinking about, just thinking about going...
If you make it too dark, you're going to be like, okay, what's up with the farmland over here?
Yeah, that's what we were looking at going. It was like a little bit darker to give it more of... Because it's kind of got like that desert dirt feel now. And like here, I think it looks good here, but this is the way the light is setting on it. But when it's at a distance, it's got more of a, like you're not seeing the darkness. Like this is kind of what I want it to look like, if you know what I'm saying.
If you want to have it darker, like the higher the elevation goes, the darker the dirt, that would make more sense.
I think I'm going to go a few shades darker with it just to see what it comes out like, and then if I don't like it, I'll go back with it. You see the snow I was working on?
That's what it would remind me of. If it was too dark, I'd be thinking, all right, you're back in Minecraft and you're getting the dirt ready to be planted.
Yeah, I agree. Did you get a chance to see the snow I've started adding in the northern parts?
No, I didn't.
Hold on, I'll fly.
But you're getting ready to go to bed, man. You ain't gotta go do that for me.
It won't take but a second. This thing flies so fast it won't take 2 minutes to do it. This way you can see what I'm working on.
Well, flying in GTA, all I have to do is conquer flying in your game, and I'll be good to go. Yeah, that'll never happen.
Now, some of these parts here, like you can see how that looks really weird looking. That's where I'm working on it in Photoshop. That's actually going to be gone whenever I get done with it. And the way some areas of it look square looking, that'll all be removed when I get finished in Photoshop. It'll look more like when I
coming up on it like that.
Yeah, when I come like this right here under me, all that'll be removed. But over here you can see where it's actually, this is how it'll actually look when I get it done.
Yeah, you did a phenomenal job with
I like it because it's, you know what I'm saying, it's going to give us so many more options. Like now we'll have an area where we got snow, and you're going to have the flooded towns, the swamp town. Then like,
oh my God, Spike's gonna get to use his boats.
Yeah, the boats. This is more of the dirt. As I start going south here now, you can see how the dirt looks. That was Murky said PUBG should hire me. that won't be no good. Then I got to work on ArmA. Yeah, you can see like now you can start to see like some of the browns.
Some of these over here make you look more deserty style, and I think that should be darkened up.
That's what I was thinking. Darken it up and see how it looks. Go in here because I know you've seen Cherno a million damn times.
Yeah.
My Cherno, but you can see what I'm saying, like how I'm starting to do. See, some of the brown is actually going to be. Some of it is going to stay dirt like it is, but some of it's going to turn into the forest floor, and it's going to be covered with trees.
Now, see the forest floor, that dirt I believe should be a dark content because you've got. If you think about it realistically. The trees wouldn't be growing there. They're putting enough fertilization in the content, the soil content to keep the trees growing. Plus, you get pine trees and stuff like that, they're going to be dropping their needles, their leaves, all that's going to decay and re-add fertilizer / mulch back into the dirt content.
Yeah, that. Because like all of this through here will be covered in trees. But all this needs to be darkened up for the tree.
Now, some of your roads, I'll tell you right now, the one thing kind of bugs me is some of your roads, like right there, that's going to be really hard to drive up and down with a vehicle.
Because it's on an angle.
Yeah, because of the angle, the incline.
Yeah, all that shit's got to be fixed. That's what I'm slowly working on. Like if you look, this one used to be real bad here.
Yeah, I remember this one was really bad in through here.
You can see like what I call it is the jet test. Let me see if I can do this. This is what I've been doing on a lot of the roads. If I can drive around on them with a jet, you can say it's a pretty good road. You see how it's flat, like I flattened it out up here and stuff like that.
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah, your road definitely needs some work. I'll tell you that. And I know it's
Yep.
gonna take you a while to get everything straightened out. Plus, your terrain in certain areas where you're gonna be placing buildings, if the terrain's too off or too jacked up, it's gonna be hard for you to put in large
Yep.
clusters of buildings because it's gonna throw everything off with your auto generation or whatever. It's gonna randomly throw them in, and they're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna have buildings that are gonna be above the ground. AI are gonna get stuck underneath the building shooting at us.
Like these through here are pretty smooth. These are some of the ones
Oh,
I've
yeah,
already
I can
started
see
working
that.
on. And this is what a lot of them will be like through these areas.
I kind of like that little drop off you got to the left-hand side there. Say you're driving down through here with a vehicle, and you see a tank. Oh shit! Exit stage left and go right off the hill into the hill for cover.
I'm doing that with a lot of the little areas. Like you can see here, how I've got you like some little bumps and things like that
Yeah.
that you can get behind. I'm going to do that with a lot of little areas and things like that where you have, and I hadn't got to it yet, but I'm going to do I'm going to do an area as well in one of the fields. I'm going to put trenches in it so that we can actually have some real trench battle.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
You want the trenches deep enough where we can get into them and out of them, but you don't want them so big where like I don't know, it's like big stuff like that start getting stuck.
Yep.
Now I can picture a tank driving over the battlefield and jumping right over the top of the trenches. That, oh my god, that would be freaky to even think about. I think I just gave you a bad idea.
It would be fun though. I can't believe how good. That's why I said like this tarmac. I think the tarmac or the asphalt came out.
Yeah,
I'm
this
really
looks
happy with
nice.
it. I mean, you just think about how long it would take
And
me
the
to
best
lay all
part
that them roads.
The best part is you don't have all your indestructible cones out there yet.
Well, they hopefully none of them's coming back.
God, I don't know how many times I've lost a vehicle to those. Oh shit, it's through there now. Boom. Sorry guys, I gotta go back 500 meters to get a new vehicle. I'll be with you in another half hour.
That's another part I like is like how this, like when you have the building setting on it, how much better it looks and things like that. Like it makes the buildings and things.
It's not really raised, but you can tell that it's definitely raised above it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I was kind of meaning when I was talking about your random city generations. Depending on your terrain, you're not going to be able to get these effects because the terrain is too, what do I say, unbalanced to be able to place the stuff down to where it looks decently.
Yep. It's getting there though. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. You can look the damn roads now. I've actually got them showing on. I don't have them showing on GPS yet, but they're showing on the map now. You can actually look at the map. And
Oh, nice.
so if you do need to like look at your map to find the road, and then you know what I'm saying, you can put some waypoints and things like that.
That's what was driving me nuts right now as is. I like the new map, but it was like navigating it. It's like trying to play it from memory, and half the time we were taking a wrong turn or going the wrong route. And I'm like, this doesn't seem right going back.
Yep. It's slowly getting there, though. I put a bunch on the.
In case you're wondering, the only reason I'm awake right now, for the last couple of weeks, besides being sick, I've been having those damn PTSD attacks like on a regular nightly basis. Sleeping for a few hours, waking up with nightmares.
You've been eating anything strange? Because I know a friend of mine, certain things he eats would trigger his. And
Travis, I'm barely eating anything. Remember, I'm having a hard time eating because it's making me sick.
And another thing he has that will trigger his lack of sleep. So if you had a lot of lack of sleep prior to that, leading up to it, lack of sleep causes him to have issues. Was you pulling like real long nights and things like that before that?
Nope. Nope. I've been doing 4 to 6 hours awake at a time, and then taking a nap for 4 hours, getting back up, trying to go back to sleep again, sleeping for 4 hours, waking up with the freaking nightmares. I think I need to get a hold of my prescriptionist and tell her the meds that she's got me on aren't working right now.
That's what I told him. I said, but I mean, you can just see how much I've gotten done. But I've told everybody just kind of like it's fine taking a break or whatever. And by Christmas, you're going to really start to see it come together around Christmas.
That's another reason why I kind of stopped playing GTA as much with the guys. It was like they're constantly getting into fights. Oh, come save my ass, help me, blah blah blah. I'm having a really hard time with the combat aspect in anything right now.
Just take you a break. That's the best way to do it. All right, I got some more textures I need to work on. So, Merc, I appreciate you hanging out with me on the stream and taking a look and all the feedback and everything. Appreciate it.
Whoa, what was that? What was that with the ATC there? Are the doors going off of that? The structure right behind you.
You talking about this one here?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen
Turn
this?
around. No, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, let me show you how this one works.
Yeah, this is new. Oh my God, dude. I like it. No more having to climb that awkward elevator.
A damn ladder.
Shot. Yeah, that ladder from hell. Oh my God, I like it.
I appreciate that, Merc. I'll let him know. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Merc said he would pray to ease your PTSD.
Oh, I appreciate it. Can you still open and close the blinds in that?
Don't have them. They're open. That way you can see in it.
Nice.
You don't have to worry about any of that.
Nice.
Travis, I click onto your stream and I see Joker equals rolling paper name brand pass pass.
That was me.
Dude. Joker rolling doobies tonight. The Doobie Brothers. Up until 3:40 a.m.
I don't know if they're still around, because you got to remember I'm old as dirt. But there used to be a rolling paper for weed that the guys were always buying. They're like, oh yeah, well, here I got a pack of Jokers.
I didn't know that. I had to Google that and check it out, see what it looked like.
Oh, dude, I'm dead serious.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. It looked like they got Joker Jester on it.
Yes, it does. Didn't it used to be yellow with like a red and bluish clown on it?
Yeah. Like a yellow gold.
Yeah. I'm old. I haven't seen them in a long time, but I'm pretty certain that I'm not that senile. And there was a rolling paper called Jokers.
Take care,
Rolling
Mark. I
paper
appreciate you
depot.
hanging out with us. And you have a good one too. And I'll catch you next time you drop by. I stream every Friday and Saturday night, sometimes regularly or sometimes randomly through the week, but mostly every Friday and Saturday night. So if you're around, you want to hang out with us, by all means, drop in on Friday and Saturday night. Have a good one. I will catch y'all next time on the stream.